So I eat a caramel apple sucker before every game on the bus, and then I always wear one sock inside out and the other one right side in. So those are the two kind of weird things that I do. I listen to a lot of Kid Cudi, kind of relaxes me. I'll listen to some John Mayer, he relaxes me. So at the hotel I kind of hype myself up with some Lil Uzi, maybe some Meek Mill, and then when we get to the stadium I'll listen to Kid Cudi and John Mayer to kind of relax myself.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Tigers Roar with Jordy Hultberg. I am Tommy Chrysan, spreading the roar, clapping of hands for Ed Orgeron's team.
How about that?
33-17 over Miami.
Never
More
saw that
points
coming.
than a lot of people thought.
Never saw that coming.
I was
Thought they would win. Never thought they'd win like that. Dominated.
I was on the list that thought Miami would win, so I was incorrect. But a lot of things to work on and clean up. But the bottom line, get a win against a team that at the time was ranked 8th, and I don't care if you want to say they were overranked, whatever. They were 8th when the game started.
That's right.
LSU wins the football game, 4-0 now in AT&T Stadium.
Orgeron's 5-0 in openers.
Yeah,
as the head coach.
2 here,
5-0.
3 at Ole Miss. But and you know, when you're up 33-3, that's dominating. They took Miami behind the shed and put it on them, from Nick Brossette to Joe Burrow to Phillips and
The kicking game
Cole
was
Tracy,
spectacular.
Akers on the kickoffs, 6 out of 8 touchbacks. Unfortunately, Caleb Van Chason done for the year. McGee out a few weeks with a tender ankle. But, Jordy, I mean, somebody asked me, do you give them an A or a B? I said, I think you got to give them an A because they won the game. You don't give them the A+ because they got a lot of things to work on, which is typical.
Why do people have to give grades? All that
It's a
matters
W,
is they're
right?
1-0. They're 1-0. They beat a team that was 8th ranked. They jumped from number 25 to number 11 in the AP poll. I've never seen a jump like that ever.
Largest in school history.
I've never seen that with anyone.
Right.
So, I mean, and you mentioned it is a coach's dream because they won and they won convincingly. And yet there were many, many things from a coaching perspective and a player's perspective that they need to correct. The Chason loss is huge. He mentioned 4 players that were possible replacements. They'll put all 4 of those in against Southeastern and see who can play the best.
Well, you know, I hate when somebody gets hurt.
I do too.
You played, I played. You hate when anybody gets hurt, even on the other team. I mean, you want to compete
Especially
against
the first
best.
game.
Yeah,
Gosh.
but what it does do, it's an opportunity for someone else
gonna happen,
to
yeah.
jump up. You know the old saying, to all the backups and substitutes in the world.
One play away.
Be ready when your name is called, physically and mentally, go perform. A la Nick Brossette.
Yeah.
He was ready when he got in, and he made the most of it. So a lot of directions to go here, but I want to start with Joe Burrow. Here's the transfer. We saw the opening clip.
Joe Cool.
From Ohio State. He comes in. You know, everybody's expecting a lot. He didn't have a great game. He'd be the first to tell you that. But you know what? He protected the ball. There were no turnovers. That's huge.
Yes.
In fact, I saw
Especially against
Miami left
Miami.
the turnover chain back in
Well,
Miami.
That's what they feed off of. That's what excites them and their fan base. And you don't let them use that thing, you're in great shape.
So Burrow performed adequately and helped his team get a win, and that was the key. And I think he will be someone that'll improve
No question.
going forward.
He hasn't started since a senior in high school. And he's a grad transfer, so he's been around a while without playing. Look, the things he did, he had control of the huddle, no turnovers, no sacks. He got rid of the football, didn't take losses, and he has that trust in his coach. The coaches have the trust in him. The players have the trust in him. He can change plays. I never got nervous when he dropped back to pass, and I can't say that very often with an LSU quarterback.
You know, I think he didn't look like a guy starting for the
Poised,
first time.
very poised. Yes.
You know, and maturity. He's a graduate. He was at Ohio State, which they have a lot of talent on that
He's
football
going to
team.
get better.
Yeah, and I think he's going to get better. I think he's going to start getting better against Southeastern.
Receivers are going to get better.
On Saturday night. Speaking of Southeastern, I got to make an announcement about the post-game show. Of course, Buddy Sajid and I will be here approximately 9:15 as soon as LSU and Southeastern are over. 9 o'clock, 9:15 is when we expect it to end. It's going to be on television, and something that we busted out of the gates with last week, Facebook Live. And we had a tremendous response for no promotion, no advertising about it. And we appreciate all the folks that maybe told somebody else and it got viral a little bit. And lots of people have viewed it because when we do it Facebook Live,
That's awesome.
the video stays on the Pelican Broadcasting Facebook page. So we're ready to rock and roll with that again this Saturday night. You can interact there, and we can do our best to answer among the phone calls and the text messages. And I've had a lot of positive feedback. A lot of people said, man, y'all do that. That's going to be great to watch it on Facebook Live. So that's a new wrinkle for the post-game show, and we hope you'll help get the word around about that. Jim, if you haven't liked the Pelican Broadcasting Facebook page already, go do it. Doesn't cost you anything. And that would be yet another way for you to listen after the game to the post-game show. We'll have reports from the stadium of Brian Lazar of TigerBait.com and Ronnie Rance of the Jumbo Sports Network. And, of course, most importantly, your phone calls and text messages. Well, we've been talking about Joe Burrow, and there was not a lot of interviews with Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
They kept him away from the media
Yep.
during quarterback camp and
I love
all of
those
that.
interviews.
Well, now they've turned him loose, and he's quite the personality and what you want in a quarterback, a leader. Here's Joe Burrow speaking to the media after the win over Miami in the locker room.
Go from Ohio and you're starting for LSU just a couple months later?
Yeah, it was definitely a big transition. Living most of my life in Ohio, coming down here to the humid heat of Louisiana, learning a whole new culture and a whole new playbook, learning 120 new guys, new faces. It was a challenge, but I was looking forward to it.
How do you think you've handled that challenge?
I think I've handled it pretty well. Started bonding with a lot of the guys. I think I've become a leader of the team, and I have some really good friends, and I think we're getting really close as a team.
Joe, did you have to try to control your emotions today?
You know, I really didn't. I thought I would, but when I got here, it was just playing football. I've done it my whole life. Played quarterback since I was in 3rd grade, so I just came out and did what I do.
What do you like most about LSU so far? Like the fans and just the atmosphere and the culture?
Yeah, it's all new to me. My teammates are my favorite part. They're so fun to be around. They've been great to me since I got here and really welcomed me into the team.
How much did you guys feed off the defense?
That defense is so good. I mean, they kind of beat us up all camp, and we thought we were going to be a pretty good offense, but I mean, we never really knew because they just kind of beat up on us all camp, and we feed off of them so much because they obviously that pick six, they force turnovers and sacks, and they're just a great defense.
Did you ever envision your first collegiate start coming in Dallas wearing purple and gold and not red and silver?
Absolutely not. It's been a long road here, but I'm glad it brought me here, and I look forward to the rest of the season with my brothers.
Were there any jitters when that first drive going out there knowing that all that in mind?
Going out there, I kind of stopped for a second on the first play, and I was like, I'm a quarterback for LSU. We're playing Miami in Dallas on national TV, and I was like, that's kind of cool, and I called the cadence. So it was about 3 seconds of kind of taking a step back.
What did you see when you made that audible on the Brissett run where obviously it seemed like that changed the tide of the game?
Yeah, I saw the safety roll down weak. I felt like he was going to blitz off the edge, so we had too many people, couldn't block him all over there, so changed the play to the field, and O-line picked it up really well, and obviously Nick finished the job.
You kind of put it in there on that pregame dust-up earlier. How much did that fire everybody up?
No, it definitely fired everybody up. We had a feeling Miami was going to do that kind of stuff because just growing up watching Miami, it kind of always happened, and we were ready for it.
There's a lot of pressure in the backfield. I guess how much does that maybe change kind of how you play today?
I just tried to play a little more conservative. Their front seven is obviously really, really good, and I didn't want to take too many chances because I know how good of a defense we are. So I didn't want to throw any interceptions, turn the ball over, or anything like that. We wanted to keep that turnover chain in the box.
It seems like you had pretty good timing with Justin Jefferson, but some of the misses with a couple guys, is that just still getting used to receivers a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, it's game one. We've been here. I've been here 2 months. Still working on timing and practice. Still working on the ins and outs of the offense, but we have a bright future, I think.
How quickly have you developed that chemistry with Justin? It seemed like you go to him.
Yeah, Justin. We went in every Saturday at 9 a.m. Me and Justin working on the timing of our routes throughout the entire summer. So that's probably why we have the best chemistry right now.
Joe, how do you win over a team in 2 months?
Well, you come in and we had our conditioning test, and I tried to win every sprint. That was the first team workout. And you kind of just keep your mouth shut for a while until people see you work, and then they start welcoming you into the team. And then you can kind of speak up a little bit more.
When did that happen?
Probably halfway through camp, I probably started being a little more vocal. Throughout the whole summer workouts, I was kind of just along for the ride, kept my nose down, worked really hard, and I think my teammates saw that.
Joe Cool, as my boy Rohan Davey calls him. Joe Cool.
All right, we're going to move on to a break, come back, and let you hear what Coach Orgeron had to say over the win against Miami. I read one national guy took him off at a hot seat. I didn't think he was on a hot seat anyway, but they took him off. We live in this immediate world, Jordy. They want to get rid of the Florida State coach and the Texas coach because they lost.
What about the Michigan coach?
Well, he's got to go. I think he's worn out his welcome. But he's a Michigan guy, so they may keep him around a little bit longer.
Something about those Michigan guys.
Yeah, what about that, huh?
Some really creative offensive geniuses. Is that a shot? I'm sorry. And Les Miles, how many commercials is he in?
The beer
Dr.
stuff.
Pepper, Dos Equis, he's everywhere.
Yeah, Les Miles. He got a good agent, I guess, huh?
I think he does.
Let's take a break. When we come back, going to let you hear from Coach O. Still to come on tonight's program, Mike Scarborough of TigerBait.com. They're saying that the win in Arlington over Miami did wonders for recruiting. Yeah. Also tonight, we're going to speak to Robbie Rhodes, the color commentator on the Southeastern Lions Radio Network. He'll join us to tell us about the Lions, Coach Frank Selfo, and the matchup with LSU. But Coach O is up next when we return with more of Tigers Roar. Stay with us.
Text Hubby. Can't wait for tonight. Where are we meeting?
Tonight? Date night? Oh. Find sushi restaurant.
Let's try Wasabi Sushi.
Route to sushi.
The destination is on your left.
Play our song.
Pioneer in-dash systems with Apple CarPlay. Get yours installed today at your local Mesa retailer.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Hi, I'm Jordy Helper for Tremonti's Meat and Seafood Market at 12451 Old Jefferson Highway. Chairman's Reserve steaks, their pork, their chicken, their seafood, top of the line. Primo barbecue pits, Icy Tech coolers. They can go anywhere and cater anything for you. Go to 751-7665 to call Tremonti's Meat and Seafood Market, where good meat ain't cheap and cheap meat ain't good. Tremonti's Meat and Seafood Market.
Are you ready for this year's formal events? Weddings, homecoming, Mardi Gras, prom, pageants. Debbie's Bridal is having an inventory blowout sale. Don't be left out. Prices range from 20% off to 80% off. Happening now. Debbie's Bridal, Burnside in Gonzales.
Look up to the sky.
Cypress Lake Apartments are conveniently located off Segan Lane in Baton Rouge, a CLK multifamily management property. Come see this community, which has many amenities, including swimming pools, fitness room, playground, and much more. 1, 2, and 3 bedroom apartments. Stop by Cypress Lake Apartments, call 225-293-6789, or go online, live at cypresslakeapts.com. We continue with Tigers Roar. Jordan, let's talk about Coach Ed Orgeron. We'll hear his post-game comments from Arlington in a moment. You know, his record is sporty. He's 7-1 in his last 8 games since the Troy debacle last year, okay? Nick Saban, people like Dabo Sweeney, they're all 7-1 as well.
You know who he reminds me of? You remember when that guy named David Blatt was coaching the Cleveland Cavaliers? Every time there was a loss, oh, it's David Blatt's fault. Every time there was a win, oh, it's LeBron. So he's the same way. He's underappreciated, and to your point, he's winning games.
He's focused on what he's doing.
Winning games.
It's a
he's
new
letting
thing.
his coaches coach, and he's not.
I like his demeanor on the sideline. You just said it. Hey, he's probably barking a little bit in the headsets, and that's fine. He's a head coach.
Sure.
But I like the fact that he's letting these coaches coach, whether it's Ensminger or Rhonda McMahon with the special teams.
Yep.
I think he's
best hire
focused.
they made.
I think he's focused better than maybe I thought he was before. Yeah, there's a lot of pressure, but he knows that.
Sure.
Okay, every coach in a Power 5 conference school knows there's pressure.
But TK, it's only as good as the last performance.
And right now,
so
it's
as
good.
much as we're praising him, people will, if the bottom falls out against Auburn, they'll be right off the bandwagon.
Before we get to Coach O's post-game comments, I want to give a shout-out to a dear friend of mine who has sat in that chair right there on this show, Tim Rebowe, the head coach at the Nichols
Told
Colonels.
you he beat Kansas.
They go up to Kansas. Now, Kansas is probably the worst Power 5 team out there, but they're a Power 5 conference team. Nichols beats them in overtime. Chase Forcade with a touchdown in overtime. That's John's nephew. That's Keith Forcade's son. Nichols' first ever win against an FBS school. They came close against Georgia a couple years ago.
Yep.
Not as close, but relatively close to A&M last year, and they beat Kansas. Now, here's the other thing. They go to New Orleans to play Tulane this week. I'm just saying, Tulane, you might have your hands full.
Enjoy, all you down there in Thibodeau, enjoy them while you have them.
But I'm going to say tip of the hat to my old bullpen catcher and friend and teammate, Tim Rebowe. When we did Nichols baseball last year, he sat in for a couple of innings on the broadcast on Pelican.
What's a baseball player doing knowing about football?
He's doing something
It's
right.
terrific.
Here are the comments of Coach Ed Orgeron in Arlington after the win over the Miami Hurricanes.
On tonight's victory. Great opening night for the Tigers.
You got a happy football team in there, and I want to credit our coaching staff for a great game plan, for their preparation. I thought we practiced well all week. You can tell today in the hotel that our guys were locked in, ready to go. The leadership on this football team has been phenomenal all camp, and I want to credit those guys. I think Steve Ensminger did an excellent job of managing the game tonight, although we made some mistakes really early. Joe Burrows kept us cool, and we were able to score 33 points. Also, really pleased with the defense, obviously, and we're a little disappointed those last 2 long balls. We're going to get that fixed, but there's a lot of good things there. This was a very good football team. I thought their receivers were very, very good. So for us to hold them that 17 points was a good feat. Really proud of special teams. Cole Tracy, 54-yard field goal, tied a school record. I thought we were solid in the special teams. On the kickoff returner, we should have fair catched it. We made a mistake there, and there's something we can improve on. There's a lot of things that we can improve on, which we will. I told the team that we're going to enjoy this win. We're going to go back and prepare, just like we did this week, for next week's opponent.
All right. Thank you, Coach. Let's go to questions. Remember, let's wait for the microphone to come to you for the benefit of our stenographer listening, and state name and affiliation. We'll go here on the left side.
Hey, Coach Jacques Doucet, WAFB-TV in Baton Rouge. Nick Brossette, just as patient as he was all these years, and finally has his night, huh?
You know, look at the history. Deion Jones, Duke Riley, Now Nick Brissett, and we saw it at camp. I felt that he was our most physical back. I'll tell you all that. I felt that he was going to have a good night, and he did. And I'm proud of Nick. Nick was one of our team captains for the game. He's been tremendous all camp, and I think that he's going to have an excellent season.
Other questions for Coach? Okay, on Coach's left, first row.
How would you grade Joe Burrow's first start?
Yeah, I think he did great. You know, I mean, just managing the game, won the game. We scored 33 points. Obviously, there's a lot of things to fix. He was under duress. Had to call a couple of timeouts early. We wasn't prepared for that. I'll take the blame for that. Get him better prepared. But I thought he kept his poise. Same thing with Saul Kemp, and he was able to get a win. We want to know, and that's what counts.
Let's move to the right in the middle.
Ed, you went through camp. You had some suspensions. You had some transfers.
Yeah.
How gratifying more is this after seeing all that and seeing the predictions and things like that?
Yeah, you know, we can see it in camp that our team came together when those things happened to us. As you heard me say, a lot of time we block out the noise. I think the team meetings that we had, the leadership meetings that we had, again, I want to credit the leadership on this football team. They came together. I think all those things made us closer. We had a choice, and the choice was for it to make us closer, and it did.
We'll stay on the right side here.
Shea Dixon with 24/7 Sports. Do you have any update on Adrian McGee and Chase On? You guys?
Yeah, not yet. Not yet. I don't know exactly what it is, but it looked pretty severe.
Okay, on the front row on Coach's left.
Brooks Cabino with The Advocate. One of the first top 10 victories you guys have had in several years. I mean, what does this mean in your tenure, and what does it mean personally to you, but also to the program?
Yeah, it's never about me. It's about the Tigers. And we just viewed it as we're playing the University of Miami. And it was an opening game, wanted to be 1-0. That's all it was about.
Okay, here on the right.
Ran Tiger Rag. Ed, what did you see from Jacob Phillips tonight? It seemed like he was kind of a difference maker in his first start.
I'm really proud of Jacob. He's matured. He was the number one linebacker 2 years ago coming out in the country. He's gotten better. He's blitzing. I know he's going to be mad that he had that face mask. I think that he's going to be a really good player for us.
We'll swing back to the left.
Coach Cole Tracy, people kicking at Division II school. A lot of people wondered how he'd do on a stage like this, and he gave you the lead early on. What an easy kick. I mean, what did that mean to get the lead in the job he did?
Confidence. We had confidence in Cole, and we seen the same thing in practice, but obviously he had to do it in the game, and he did it. We believe in Cole, and I wish I had him for more than 1 year.
Let's go in the back in front of the cameras.
Right here? Yeah, Tony O'Neill, North Shore Plus. Coach, can you tell us about your preferred walk-on, your kickoff man, Avery Atkins? That was a major surprise.
Yes. Greg McMahon, again, he went out and convinced Avery to be a preferred walk-on. And he told me, he said, Coach, I got the best kickoff guy in the country. And although he had a couple of bad kicks at the end, we thought he did fantastic. He's going to get better. We're glad we have him.
And deliberate squib kicks?
No.
Hey, Coach, Glenn West, Daily Reveille. Grant Delpit seemed to be all over Rozier tonight. I mean, what was the game plan with him and rushing the quarterback so much?
Yeah. Well, we had a new substitution defense. We felt that Grant could do some things closer to the line of scrimmage, and that's what we did.
Okay, in the back.
Sam Conn, ESPN.com. Ed, given your guys' status as an underdog going into this game, do you guys feel like you made a statement tonight?
We practiced all week to play the University of Miami. There was no talk about any of that. So if that was happening out there, I don't know nothing about that. We came to play a game, and our goal was to be 1-0. And that's the way we approach every game. Regardless of what's out there and what people say, we believe in each other in that room, and we proved it tonight.
Okay, in the back, TV cameras, left side.
Michael Cobble, WBRZ TV in Baton Rouge. Coach, the reversal of the scoop and score for them really seemed to be a momentum changer in the game. How important was that? And you talked about settling your team down. It seemed like from there on you guys were able to get some things going.
Yeah, it was really good. That could have been a pivotal play. It was it turned the tide a little bit, and for us to give us some momentum. And his arm was going forward. That was a good call, and I'm glad it went our way.
We'll move back to the right.
Right here on the right. Shay Dixon with 24/7 Sports. A little bit more about Burrow's composure. I mean, it seemed like on that Brissett run, he had audibled, and went to the left side, and then he
Pretty good play.
rained some, and didn't turn the ball over. Kind of just your thoughts there.
That's what we've seen from Joe the whole time. That's what we saw when we recruited him. He's very smart. He's cool under pressure. Can make adjustments. He was ready to go. He was fired up today, and that was a big fourth down play for us. And that was a big audible on his part.
Okay, on the left side toward the back.
Larry Holder with The Athletic, just to elaborate on the audible. So he did audible.
Yeah.
In anything else that he did decision making along there where?
Yeah, I'm sure there were several plays that he did. And, we had some clock management problems to start off with, and he did a good job of it. He didn't panic, and he got us going.
Closing questions now for Coach. We'll go here on the right.
Ed, what did you see from Bedard when he had to go in for Adrian after he went down? Seems like you guys ran the ball pretty well after that.
Well, the thing about Bedard was the number one JC offensive tackle in the country. We needed him. Him and Damian Lewis. We had 2 junior college players starting for us today. I think he did well. I wasn't really pleased with the blocking of the offensive line. I thought that we missed some assignments. I thought that we gave up too much penetration. But I'm sure we're going to get that fixed. Those guys are gelling. They're young. They're playing a lot of positions, but we're going to have to get better real fast.
All right, we're going to turn the page, okay? Miami's over. It's a win. It's warm and fuzzy. It's good. All done. Time to, that's
Home opener, baby.
That's,
Home opener.
That's one chapter in a 12-chapter book, and then hopefully some postseason.
I'll meet you at the Shoot on Saturday.
No, there's a tour Thursday morning for the media. You going?
No.
Free lunch.
Yeah, not free beer, though.
No, probably not.
So go to the Shoot on Saturday.
Well, we're going to turn the page. Miami to win. Okay, it's good. Southeastern Lions, I saw an underground line in Las Vegas. LSU's a 37.5-point favorite.
Pick your score.
Name that score. Get a lot of guys in, win the game. We're going to take
Miles
a
Brennan,
break.
second half.
When we take a break, we're going to come back, and we're going to get a little Southeastern Lions for you. I graduated from that place, so and a lot of people in Louisiana did. We're going to visit with Robbie Rhodes. He's the color commentator on the Southeastern Lions radio network. He's going to tell us about the Lion football team, Coach Frank Scelfo, and, of course, the matchup with LSU. All that's next, right after this pause on Tigers Roar. Spread the roar. Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans. Stay with us.
Creel Tree Service is a licensed and insured tree service providing tree and stump removal, topping, trimming, cabling, pruning, and fertilizing. We have free stump removal with takedowns, free estimates, affordable rates, and senior citizens discounts. Call 774-TREE. That's 774-8733. Get your yard ready for the warmer weather. If it deals with a tree, call me, Creel Tree Service, 774-8733. That's 774-TREE.
When my wife and I started Relief Windows, what we were trying to do, what our goal was to give a quality job to a homeowner. Everybody's scared of contractors. We wanted to change the mold of what that is. Not showing up on time, not answering the phone, somebody running with your money. The reason why you should pick Relief Windows to do your renovation of your home, windows, doors, Hardy Plank, or siding, is because of the experience, quality service of our company. Service is everything we have. It's the foundation of our company. We're going to show up on time. We're going to do the job right. Over 60% of our customers is customer referral. We're a local company here in Baton Rouge, built in Baton Rouge, staying in Baton Rouge. Okay. The job's not done until you're happy and we're happy. It's built the old-fashioned way, with a handshake. Here at Relief Windows, it's an honor to be official window, door, and siding company of LSU Athletics, from one winning team to another.
They said I could find you here. Why are you fishing? Our company's got to ship out 2 full color brochures and 20 color copies. You're killing me.
It's done. Designed, printed, packaged, and shipped.
How?
You just got to know the right people. Baker Printing, the printing people.
How come you get to fish in this private lake?
Like I said, you just got to know the right people. You can know the right people too.
The Acord Eye Clinic has moved to a new office, just minutes from the old office at 8280 YMCA Plaza Drive, Building 9. Dr. Shonda Acord and her staff welcome patients of all ages, including children and adults. They have a wide variety of frames and sunglasses, including Maui Jim. The Acord Eye Clinic features modern instruments and state-of-the-art technology, including digital retinal scanning with Optomap, hard-to-fit contact lenses, as well as professional care and service. Open Monday through Friday, 8 till 5. Call for an appointment, 225-767-EYES, and visit the website, visionsource-br.com. The Acord Eye Clinic looks forward to seeing you.
This is an important announcement. If you're between 50 and 85 and worried about your loved ones, you can still get affordable life insurance for peace of mind.
My life insurance coverage is guaranteed, and I was not required to get a medical exam.
I had high blood pressure and diabetes, and I got my coverage with one telephone call. No exam necessary.
I'm a smoker, and I wanted to take care of my family. I called to get my life insurance and my affairs in order. I wanted to do the right thing.
Call Final Expense No Exam Insurance. Your rates are guaranteed and will never increase.
I called and learned that this insurance cannot be canceled even if you get sick or gain weight.
And there are no restrictions on how my beneficiaries use the money when I'm gone.
Approval was easy and the price was right. I wanted to do this for my children.
Call 800-654-9927, 800-654-9927.
Continue with Tigers Roar here on Pelican Sports TV. As we said, it's time to look forward. That means the Southeastern Lions. For the only other time they came into Baton Rouge was 1949. LSU got a win that night. And 69 years later, they're rolling into Tiger Stadium for a 6:02 kickoff on national TV, ESPN2. Right now, it's our pleasure to be joined by Robbie Rhodes. He's a graduate of Southeastern, played a little golf over there, been with their radio crew on the sidelines, been in the booth for the last 5-6 years. And we're going to find out about this Lion football team. Robbie, good evening. How are you?
Hey, good. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
Not a problem, Robbie. The Lions opened up last Thursday night up in Monroe with a victory, with a game that they lost 34-31, had a field goal blocked at the buzzer. I know it's only one game, but you've been watching Lion football for a while. What did you learn about the team in one game?
Well, I think you learned, what Coach Stelfo, the new head coach's identity is going to be. Very different from, what it's been the last couple of years in Hammond. Offensively, Coach Stelfo and a lot of members of his staff bring, an NFL pro-style offense. And last year the Lions were running more of a up-tempo kind of a spread option look where they wanted to run the ball predominantly on offense. This year they really want to be balanced. They want to throw and play action. They want to use a tight end. They want to go a little bit up tempo if they have to, but they're not afraid to huddle. They're not afraid to use that fullback. I think they're very similar to what LSU's been offensive strategy over the last 5-6 years in terms of what they want to do offensively, and that was really evident in their ability to move the football with a new quarterback, wide receivers that were on the roster last year, but the top wide receiver returning only had 12 catches last year and played in every game just because they didn't throw the ball a whole lot. So really seeing what those guys could do when they got the chances and the opportunities. And, look, being in the FCS, you got to go play these FBS games every year. It's not usually we play 2 in 1 year, but when you get the chance to play Sun Belt teams like UL Monroe, obviously that's a UL Monroe team that their fans feel like is going to be one of their better ones that they've had. And you want to see where you rank against those teams because, that can really give you some good confidence if you can compete and try to win going forward in the FCS regular season for your team.
Robbie, who are some of the key guys on the offensive side of the ball for Southeastern that fans at the game Saturday night are going to get to see?
Yeah, I think it's going to start with the quarterback, Jason Virgil. There was a quarterback battle in the camp and in the spring coming into this year with with he and Lorenzo Nunez, who was the quarterback last year. Lorenzo is more of a runner, but does have the ability to throw the football, and I think, Chasen just kind of got the upper hand because he's more of a pocket passer, which is what this coaching staff wanted. So you're going to look for him. I think he's got a good arm and really can really drive the football down the field from what we saw in practices and the scrimmages, and then last week against the Warhawks. He really made some good throws against some pressure. I thought he climbed the pocket real well and looked down the field and kept his eyes up and really made some good throws through the course of the football game. And then there's also going to be probably Lorenzo Nunez, who was part of that quarterback battle as a 2D, second-string quarterback right now, but they've been trying to get him on the field any way they can because he's a dynamic athlete. He's a big kid, 6'3". He can make plays in space with his feet, and he can really be dynamic. And they lined him up at wide receiver a lot against UL Monroe. He caught a touchdown pass. So they try to find a way to get the ball in his hands. And then it's Petit Ferrer, obviously the natural wide receiver. He's a big play player in the kickoff return game, and then also at the wide receiver position. And he's a guy who Coach Shelfo really highlighted, says, we got to find a way to get the ball in this young man's hands. He didn't get it enough last year, and we need to find a way to make him more prolific in the offense. So I think those three young men are really going to be big playmakers for the Lions on Saturday and this season. And also look at the offensive line. Even we're Division I FCS, but I would put our offensive line, especially watching how they matched up against UL Monroe last Thursday, as being one of the bigger offensive lines in FCS. In our league especially. I mean, they're really big across the front, and there's some guys coming back. They got a transfer from Georgia, Pat Allen, who came in this year as, won the starting job at left tackle. He's a guy who played snaps in the Rose Bowl last year for Georgia and in the national championship game. Just kind of got beat out and came to Hammond this year and wanted to get that opportunity to start and has done that. And he's been very dynamic with helping this offensive line be a guy coming in who can really make things happen up front in the running game.
Tell us a little bit about first-year coach Frank Scelfo.
Well, it's been a real pleasure to get to know Coach Scelfo. It's been kind of a whirlwind. He was kind of hired late in the process when you see the coaching carousel of college football happen. Coach Roberts took the defensive coordinating job at UL Lafayette pretty late in the year. Coach Napier hired him over there in late January or mid-January, I guess, and he left. And the Lions had to, bring in Coach Scelfo, who first time being a head football coach, was working with, I know a guy you're very familiar with. He was, with Frank Wilson at UT San Antonio before coming to Hammond as his offensive coordinator. He's been a lot of stops, including the NFL, which is not something you get a whole lot of from your coaching staff in the FCS level. But he spent a number of years. He coached Nick Foles at Arizona. He coached Blake Bortles in Jacksonville. So he's got some quarterbacks that he worked with that have really done some pretty solid things in the last few years. And he brings a lot of that to the game. He hired some of his coaching staff. His defensive coordinator, Coach Louis Chofie, has been pretty much an NFL defensive assistant over the last 10, 15 years. And he's here as a defensive coordinator. So it's been a very different camp in terms of how they approach things. I don't get a chance to go to a lot of NFL camps, but you see so much on TV these days about how those things work, through the shows and whatnot. And you kind of hear a lot of the same lingo and how they approach things that you hear, in that situation when you watch those shows. They really wanted the players to, you hear that, always hear, stay off the ground, which is different than it's been. And that's something that really kind of stood out to us as being a little bit of a difference. But he's done a great job. He wants to really incorporate this state in terms of recruiting ranks. And he's from Louisiana. He's a guy who believes in the talent here and wants to continue to really push his recruiting base in the state of Louisiana. But a great guy to get to know so far, a great guy to work with in my capacity, and looking forward to what he brings to Hammond as his first season gets underway here.
All right, Robbie, we certainly appreciate your time and hope you'll have a good call on Saturday night. I'm sure you will. And good luck the rest of the season, and we'll talk to you again down the road.
I appreciate that, guys, and we look forward to a good game on Saturday. Thank you.
Thank you. That's Robbie Rhodes from the Lions Sports Network. We'll take a break, come back. Mike Scarborough, TigerBait.com. That win in Arlington did some good things for recruiting in that state of Texas. We'll get into that when we return with more of Tigers Roar. Stay with us.
Taste the feeling.
Remember what these trips were like before you put the screens in the back seats?
I don't want to think about it.
Are we there yet? I'm hungry. Where are we?
Go, go, go. That game should keep them occupied.
Oh, yeah. Dad.
Oh, in your face.
Don't make me get back there.
You don't need a new car to have new technology. Mike's Audio, conveniently located on Airline Highway near the corner of Bluebonnet.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing. You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day. Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
For Total Home Pest Control, who are you going to call?
Call the Bug Man, 923-BUGS.
For total pest control for your home or business, call the original Salvant.
Call the Bug Man today, 923-BUGS.
We continue with Tigers Roar. We're now joined by Mike Scarborough of TigerBait.com. Mike, good evening. How are you?
Hey, doing great.
Hey, Mike, obviously we know it was a win in Arlington against Miami. Coach O made a comment, but what does that do for recruiting in the small picture and the big picture?
No, it's absolutely positive. You got 6.5 million viewers. You had recruits going into that game, particularly on the offensive side of the ball. I know John Emery in particular told me that he wanted to see what the offense looked like months ago before he committed to Georgia. And I know the offensive line is also something that some of the offensive players wanted to see. So, look, anytime you win, it's a positive. And, like Coach Orgeron said in his press conference, that the recruits that they reached out once they got home and were able to make calls were all extremely positive. And I believe he's right from the ones that, we've interacted with and we've seen on Twitter. So it's a big deal.
All right, Mike, you said you were in Alexandria the other night. Tell us about that trip.
Yeah, Friday night I went out to Alexandria. LSU's offered two kids in 2020, Jacobian Guillory, who's arguably the #1 player in the state for next year, big defensive tackle, and Bud Clark, as a defensive back, but he plays quarterback for Ash. And was able to go shoot video of them, posted Bud Clark's video, posted an interview with Guillory, Both kids are I say, heavy leans to LSU. Clark looks exactly what you expect to see as a corner at LSU, 6'1", long arms. Of course, he's the best athlete on that team, so he plays quarterback like a lot of best athletes do in Louisiana high school football. They get to play quarterback. So yeah, it's and Guillory is absolutely a beast. So you've got 3 defensive linemen in the state of Louisiana for next year. They're going to be highly coveted. Guillory, Jaquelin Roy from U High that I saw a couple of weeks ago, and we'll see again this weekend. And of course, you got another one up at Haynesville that's got an offer. So if they can get 2 of those 3 or all 3 of them, that defensive line is going to be set for some time. So we've got great high-def video of both those prospects this weekend, and we're out every weekend, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday high school games, shooting all over the state.
All right, Mike, tell us all about TigerBait.com. Of course, a little over a month ago, revamped, rebranded the whole bit. Tell everybody what they're going to get when they go to TigerBait.com.
Yeah, you're going to get all that prospect video, interviews with prospects. We do our all-day chat every Wednesday, football, recruiting, and Tiger Athletics talk. We'll be talking basketball real soon. And, of course, all of our normal game coverage. Brian Lazar rolling out a lot of feature stories, our post-game analysis, our report card, where we grade each position every Sunday. We've got it all for you at TigerBait.com. You can get on the site for 1 month for $1 to try it out. And if you're an LSU fan, we'd love to have you try that 1 month free trial. 1 month for $1.
Can't beat that.
No.
Hey, Mike, as always, we appreciate it, and keep up the great work.
All right, talk next week.
All right. Jordy, you can never underestimate the importance of recruiting. Coach O was quick to talk about it. They had guys on the sidelines, national TV. It's all about recruiting.
He hit the nail on the head. $6 million at $1.8 million was the peak. Only game in town. So great opener in a lot of ways.
Yeah, well, in recruiting. It's all about recruiting, as we know.
A lot of ways.
All right, Coach O had some comments that he wanted to make this week. He made them at his weekly presser, which was a day different because of the Labor Day holiday. So right now we want to share some of Coach O's comments, a little bit about Miami's win, and then looking forward to the Southeastern Lions this Saturday. Here's Coach Ed Orgeron.
You guys, welcome. Very proud of the effort, the energy that we played with. Proud of the leadership on our football team and the preparation by our coaches. I thought those guys were very well prepared for an outstanding opponent in Miami. We played 7 true freshmen. We plan to play more. Those guys played very well, worked hard, and we look forward to playing more this year. Very proud of winning the turnover margin. 0 turnovers for the offense was a phenomenal feat against a defense that thrives on causing turnovers, and +2 turnovers for our defense. Special teams I thought was excellent. Cole Tracy 4 of 4. The first block punt we had called, we had a guy wide open. We need to get better at practice blocking those punts. That was perhaps a touchdown there. We made a couple errors in the kicking game that I know Coach McMahon is going to fix this week. We should have fair caught one of our kickoffs. Would have gave us better field position, but other than that, I thought that Coach McMahon did a superb job of putting our guys in special situations. Proud of Nick Brissett. Nick has waited his turn here. I thought he did an excellent job of the game, both blocking and running. And I was proud of Jacob Phillips. I thought Jacob had an excellent game. I know that we want to eliminate the penalty that he had, but I thought he stepped in and did very well. On to Southeast Louisiana. Obviously, we are very excited to play at home. Tiger Stadium, that's what we wait all year for. I know it's going to be a great crowd. Our players are excited. A lot of new coaches, their first time in Tiger Stadium. A lot of new players, their first time at Tiger Stadium. Tiger Walk's going to be phenomenal, and we have a great week of preparation. Today is Tell the Truth Monday. We're going to treat it as such. Tomorrow will be a combination day between Tuesday and Wednesday. Then we'll get back to no repeat Thursday and focus Friday and get ready to play the game on Saturday. A little bit about Southeastern. I'm friends with Frank Selfo. He's a fantastic coach. He's a good man. He's a good recruiter. He's going to do great things in Hammond. He's already started. They played ULM very tight. He has an offensive scheme that they run all the right plays, all the right formations, all the right motions. He does a lot of things that give us problems. So when they're working on them right now, he operates out of a spread. He had 31 points per game. He had Chase Virgil, dual threat quarterback with a good arm. Devontae Williams, a good player. And that's good players all over the field there at Southeast Louisiana for his league. And I know that he's going to do a very good job at that. On defense, they're very multiple. They're 3-4. They only have 2 returning starters. Matt Wright, their free safety, and Tremarcus Russell's 2 of their best players. On special teams, we just watched them this morning. Their punt coverage was ranked 14 in their division last year. They have some good players, some good skilled players, so we know that those guys are going to come in there and give us their best shot. It's not going to be about them. It's always going to be about the LSU Tigers. Our goal this week is to prepare each week the same, treat every opponent the same, and prepare at a championship level each week. One of the things that didn't go right in the game was we lost Kelvin Chasson for the year. He will be out for the year, and I just met with Kelvin and talked to his grandmother. I feel bad for him. He's a great young man. He had totally dedicated himself to this year, and but he's going to get through this. This is going to pass for him, and he'll have a great career down the road. I know his teammates are very sad that he is going to be out the rest of the year, but we're going to have to step up, and guys will step up at that position.
So it's all about LSU this week. And this is not a slight on Southeastern. You give them your utmost attention, utmost respect, but this is all about LSU taking care of business early, playing a lot of people late.
And don't get anybody hurt.
Exactly.
Hey, a couple of things. Number one. Big announcement from the ownership at Pelican Broadcasting.
Expanding
the empire.
Yes. New sound stage.
Scoreboard Sports Grill and Catering next to Anton's Fine Jewelers on Coursey Boulevard. Food, fun, music, drinks.
We'll be doing all our shows there.
And most importantly, a sound stage, radio shows, TV shows,
so
music information.
You can come out and be a part of it. You can come be a part of the experience. We may even let you get on television
well, we're going to have a
and
contest.
Radio.
Instead of a karaoke contest, it's going to be a sportscaster contest.
You can call the play-by-play of a game or two.
Audience participation. In fact, for those that remember the old Sports Down the Middle show with Alan Risher and I,
nobody remembers.
Bailey is coming back to teach somebody on the questions from the audience. I spoke to her the other day. Some of you folks know exactly what I'm talking about right there. But anyway, on Coursey Boulevard next to Anton's Fine Jewelers, soundstage, radio, TV, music, sports, food, drink, fun, family.
Where we tailgate every day, 7 days a week. Scoreboards.
Coming very, very soon. Again, right next to Anton's Fine Jewelers on Coursey Boulevard. You'll see it.
Fun.
It's happening. It's going to be a unique, nothing else like it in Baton Rouge. I can assure you of that.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing.
And don't forget now, this Saturday night, LSU and Southeastern will kick at 6:02 on national TV, ESPN2, and the Pelican Sports postgame show immediately following on television, and the new wrinkle, Facebook Live. You got to like the Pelican Broadcasting Facebook page, which many of you have already done. Facebook Live, you'll be able to watch it, see Buddy Sanji, myself, the reports from the stadium, the calls, the text messages. You can send a question through Facebook, through the live page. You don't want to miss it. We did it last week at the last minute, basically truly the last minute, and it really took off. And a lot of people, it took off because people were telling others about it. So I'm asking you to tell others about Facebook Live, Pelican Broadcasting, tell others about Scoreboards, Sports Grill, and Catering on Coursey Boulevard next to Anton's Fine Jewelers.
Expanding the empire, branching out. It's going to be cool. I mean, seriously, going to be a music venue. Do radio shows, television shows. And oh, by the way, there'll be some food and beverages there as well. And watch all the games. There'll be 20-plus TVs all over the place. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. I was over there a couple days ago, and a lot of people have been working very hard, including Burton Allen and Marty and Ryan and lots of other people working hard.
You like some of the seats in the bench areas? When you get there, just check it out. You'll like it. You'll like it.
Well, cool. Normally, I'd save my predictions for Fridays on the radio, but, I mean, this is name that score, LSU Southeast. But you made the key point. LSU is going to have some objectives. Coach O and the staff are going to tell that team, I want to accomplish this list.
First thing is, let's get the play in. Let's get off the sideline quickly. Understand the new kickoff rule. The clock starts immediately. Get on the field, get the plays in. No more wasted timeouts. So a clock game management situation is one thing. And you got to let Joe Burrow throw the football. You can't be conservative. You got to let him get timing and coordinating with his wide receivers. And the receivers have to catch the ball.
Yeah,
comes with practice. And they're going to get better, but bigger fish to fry. Jordan-Hare, tough place to play.
High school has a jamboree. NFL has exhibition games. They had to jump out the gate, and they got the win. That was the key thing. They got the win.
Go home.
Miami, that's over now. Okay?
Peach Bowl and now this.
But
Boom.
it's they're now 10-3 all time against Miami. So you got that. So anyway, don't forget the post-game show on Facebook Live, the new wrinkle we have. Again, we'll put it all over our Facebook page, Twitter account. Guys will be announcing it on the radio the next couple of days. Jordy and Buddy and I and Dave Scandaliato from Vegas. Hey, most importantly, we want you to spread the roar about this show, about the post-game show. It takes a lot of people here at Pelican to put this thing together. We appreciate that. Mr. Jordy Hultberg, I'm Tommy Christ, and thanks to Robbie Rose and Mike Scarborough. We'll talk to you again soon.
It's time to find out the truth about health insurance.
True or false? I can't get health insurance because I missed the open enrollment period. False.
If you had a life change, such as moving, getting married, having a child, or a job loss, you are eligible to buy a new policy.
I don't have a life-changing event, so I can't get health insurance. False.
You can purchase affordable short-term policies even if it's not open enrollment.
I have to spend hours shopping around for an insurance policy that's right for me. False.
Call Healthcare will connect you with licensed agents that do the work for you, comparing hundreds of options, making sure you get a policy that fits all your needs at the best price.
Call now and we'll connect you to a licensed agent that will answer all your questions. The call and the service are free, so what are you waiting for?
Call Healthcare, getting the coverage you need at a price you can afford. Call now. Representatives are standing by to assist you.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.